Hi all, this is Rahul from Way to Automation. So in this lecture, we'll be doing the detailed configuration of Selenium Grid 4. So we're going to look at the standalone mode, the hub and node mode, and the fully distributed system. So it's very simple and very easy to get started with Selenium Grid 4. You just need its Selenium server jar. So once you download it, see on the status bar it is showing Selenium server 4.0.0 alpha 1.jar. So once you download it, it will actually gonna come like this. I've already downloaded this. So a couple of things that you need to make sure when you are downloading this jar file. Wherever you're keeping this jar file, you need to have your browser executable files as well kept at the same location. Right, because what happens when we download this jar file, if we are running it in the standalone mode, which is the easiest mode, so this will gonna have your node and the hub both configured in the same standalone mode. Now you need not to separately start a node or a hub. This is a very simple configuration. You just need to copy this. Wherever you have downloaded the jar file, go to that particular location, open up command prompt, and just paste this and press enter, and you're gonna see that the hub is basically started on this 4444, and if I now go to 4444 localhost 4444, the server is actually listening at this, and now you need not to use WD hub. I mean, if you remember, while like writing the code for Selenium Grid, we actually used the remote WebDriver class, in which we actually pass this URL. So you need not to pass this URL now. The URL will be just localhost colon 4444, and in order to check the status, you just need to type the status. So you can see Selenium Grid ready, and it is actually showing supported 11 sessions, out of which one is for Microsoft Edge, and then 5 are for Chrome and 5 for Firefox. So if I don't place these files over here, let's say I just copy them, I just cut them, and I'll store it into a folder executable. So before I cut them, I need to stop these services as well, and I'll just move them into this executable folder. And if I again run this and refresh this time you can see you're not seeing that Chrome and Firefox, right? So this is what it is required, that you need to keep your executable file at the same location where you are starting your grid services, right? So I'll just move them again over here. And now if you look over here, Microsoft Edge is also showing, but I have not added the Microsoft WebDriver executable file over here. Basically, you need not to add it in case you want to work with the Edge browser. So you need to go to Selenium HQ, where you will be getting this Edge from here, Edge driver from here. It will take you to the Microsoft website, and the latest one that like if I open up my Edge browser and if I look for the version of Edge browser from here, in general it shows Microsoft Edge 44.18, Microsoft Edge HTML 18.18, and if I see over here, so any version Edge HTML version 18 or above, in order to get started, what I need to do is I need to go to settings, update and security, or there's a simple way of doing it as well. If you go down, you'll find it over here. Yeah, so go to like anything that is above the 18 version. What you need to do on your Windows machine, because Edge is supported on Windows, So you need to write this thing in your command prompt. So this thing will actually going to download the latest Edge driver for you, and we're going to configure it globally so that you need not to have that exe file downloaded manually. So, but this command will not going to work on a normal command prompt. It will not going to work over here. See, elevated permissions are required. So you need a elevated command prompt. So how you're gonna get it? Just type CMD Control Shift Enter and say yes. So this is your elevated command prompt. So when you actually gonna type this command over here, this will gonna install your Microsoft Edge, that is the Microsoft WebDriver. So now when you are done with this installation, the Edge will automatically, the Microsoft WebDriver will automatically be configured globally and should start showing up in your grid services, right? But for Chrome and other browsers, you need to keep the executable files over here. So what I'll do, I'll again restart the services. I'll again restart them and again refresh it, and you'll now going to see that maximum session for the Edge is 1, and Chrome and browser we can have five browsers launched at the same time, right? So these are the maximum instance for these browsers that can be launched. Now once our grid service is up and running, we can write the code and we can execute it on this Selenium Grid platform. So in order to do that, I'll be taking up the same code that we have already seen in our Selenium Grid using Selenium 3 lectures. So the same code will gonna work over here. I'm gonna share you this code where it's a simple class. I've created a practice class, named it as, you can give any name, I just named it as Gmail. And in this, what I'm going to do is there is a method, a test method, where we are reading some parameters from the test.ng.xml file. So this we have already seen how to read parameters from test.ng.xml. So in this I've created a method launch browser and reading this parameter value from the XML file. So what I did is I created a test.ng.xml file. In this I am calling the same test 3 times. So there's a test tag in which I'm calling this class once, twice, and then the 3 times. And then all these 3 tags, 3 tests have a parameter where the browser value is Firefox, a parameter with a browser value Chrome, a parameter with a browser value as Edge. And same browser value, I'm actually getting it from the parameter tag. Now when I say parallel equal to test, so all these 3 tests will gonna execute at the same time. And the same time, all 3 values can be fetched from here. So I've written a code that if the browser is equal to Chrome, if we got the Chrome value from test.ng.xml, then it should set the platform for Chrome, browser name Chrome, and with the Chrome options, we are going to merge these capabilities, right? Same thing for Firefox and same thing is for Edge. And then we need to pass on these capabilities to the new remote WebDriver class object, where the URL should be only up till the port 4444. There should not be WD hub like we used to do with previous version of Grid. And then the capabilities are passed over here. That's it. And now you can write the code for launching your website, navigate to a particular website, try finding elements, and then quit. So this is a very simple code. And now what I'm going to do is, now if I right click on this test.ng.xml and run it, it should actually launch 3 different browsers and should perform all the operations on those browsers. See, Edge, this is Chrome, and then Firefox, this is Firefox, right? So it should type. And okay, on Edge, it is actually navigating to the initial page. So we might have not, like we might get some errors over here for the Edge browser, which is not going to type, right? Because for typing, the input element is missing, right? But anyways, we have seen the tests are actually running on all three browsers. On Edge, it works. On Firefox, it works. And on Chrome, it works, right? And we have not seen what is being passed over here. You can see the session that is being passed over here, right? Because the Edge was not successful, so it is still showing the session for Edge is still active over here, right? So this is the session ID that is being maintained over here. So what I'll do, I'll just refresh it once again. I'll just stop the channel and restart the services. And this time what I'm gonna do is I'll just comment out the typing part, right? Maybe we can try getting the title, get title from all the browsers. So I'm gonna write browser title from the browser and get the browser value from that variable, and then have some space over here. And let's run this again. So if I run it, and let's look at the grid as well. So you'll see that the session for Chrome, the Firefox is just starting. So maybe you'll see Firefox as well over here. Chrome is done, and then the Firefox is also done. The Edge is also done. But Edge still shows active, right? The session is still maintained. But if we go to our Eclipse and see that all three tests, okay, so specified window could not be found. Okay, there could be an issue with the Edge. So why it is not working on Edge? So we are navigating and then getting the title and then quitting. Let me run it once more, because for Firefox and Chrome it is working absolutely fine. So it should work fine for Edge as well. Right, so there could be some challenge due to the release is not officially launched, but for other browsers it's working fine. Okay, looks like this time the Edge is not opened. So maybe the session is still active. And let me check through the task manager as well. For Edge, okay, a lot of Chrome driver instance is running, so I actually need to close it. So if we don't do driver.quit, then this Chrome driver sessions, they don't terminate automatically. So Microsoft WebDriver is for Edge. So let me see, let me run it again. And now let me rerun the test. So Chrome launches, Edge closed, still navigating to Chrome, Firefox, and then Firefox Edge quit. And this time if we take a look at the results, we got all three tests successfully executed. So the issue was, I believe, due to the edge like services not being killed, because the quit operation was not called, as we got an exception in between, right? But you have seen, like starting and configuring the grid was very simple. Just by one single standalone command, we were able to configure the hub and the nodes, right? So this you're gonna do when you are configuring the hub and node on the same machine. So you can use it in a simple mode as well, right? But if you want a node to be configured on a different machine, so you need to follow these steps. First, you need to start a hub, then you need to start a node with this command. If in case you are doing it on the same machine, if you are on a different machine, then you need to use this command, where you need to detect a driver publish event using the TCP and give the IP of the hub, and here the IP of the hub to subscribe event. So these are a couple of things that you need to configure. So as in, if I started on this particular machine, not as a standalone, I simply need to copy this, and first I'm going to create hub. So I'll paste this, and the hub is ready. Let's look at the status. See, it says grid is not ready because nodes are not yet configured. So then I'll be configuring node. I don't have a different machine, so I will be creating node at this machine only. So you can use the below command as well and create a node on a different machine. So that should point to the hub on this machine, right? So again, open up a command prompt and type this, press enter, and this should connect to the TCP 4442 and 4443 of the hub. And if you go over here, so this is your hub, and if I refresh the status, we're gonna see all, I mean the node is connected with all these things, right? So now if I run the command again, if I run this code again, so I believe it should work fine for the second step as well. Okay, I believe the issue is still with that edge. It is actually not killing the Microsoft web driver. Okay. Let me check. Just give me a moment. So little challenges are there, but I have so many sessions being running over here. So let me kill all these sessions. Till that time, I'll pause the video and we'll resume it. So I finally killed all these browser executable services. Now let's run it again. Let's run the hub and node again. Give me a moment. Let me open up command prompt. And here first let's start the hub. Then start the node. And then the node should listen to the hub. See, the node is doing a handshake with the hub. And now let's run the code again to make sure all three browsers work successfully. See, now the Edge is launching. Chrome launched. Edge is navigating to Gmail. Chrome is navigating to Gmail, and Firefox is navigating to Gmail. And then all three tests, all three browsers. This is from Edge, this is from Chrome, and this is from Firefox. So all three tests successfully executed, right? So we have successfully validated the second configuration step as well through hub and node. And now we'll be looking at the fully distributed system, right? So in fully distributed system, what we need to do, we need to set up all these session map, distributor, router, and then we need to create a node. So I'll be killing all these things. Let me quit it. And first we'll be starting a new session. So through the same jar file, you can do all these things on separate machines. First, we have started a new session, and then we'll be creating a distributor. So again, open up a command prompt. So this is the distributor. Then the third is to create a router. So again, right, you can see the session and the distributor is required for the router. And then finally, if you look at the status, the grid should not be ready yet. See, grid not ready, because we need a node, otherwise the grid is useless. So we need to now run the node. So copy this and again go to command prompt and paste it. Right, and now if you refresh this, you should have all the browsers up and running. And now if I run this test again, see, we need not to change our test based on how we are configuring the grid. If we are using standalone or hub or node or the fully distributed system, we need not to do any changes to the code. See, the code should work absolutely fine. Right, so all three tests are successfully executed. There are no failures, which means that we have successfully used the latest Selenium Grid 4 configuration using the standalone mode, using the hub and node, and using the fully distributed system. Right.